2022 is the first year Lionel Messi hasn't been nominated for the Ballon d'Or since 2006. And he seems to have taken that personally, because this season he's been amazing. This guy over here has scored 12 goals, provided 13 assists for PSG already, unless of course he does something against Juventus, which is happening after I record this. He's also scored 12 goals in 10 games for Argentina. That's just in a season. He does more than most humans can possibly do on the football pitch. And it begs the question, is Lionel Messi the best player in the world? Again? Well, I think he might be. Let's look at what he's doing and how he's doing it. So we know he plays for PSG, that's good. He plays as more of a striker these days, he's left-footed as we know. He tends to play on the right-hand side of this 3-4-3-ish kind of thing. So it was early in the season, it was more of that kind of shape, 3-4-3 here, but very much, for whatever reason, he's changed to doing this with Neymar as more of a 10. But actually what these do is they constantly rotate to be able to create chances for each other. And Messi, although he starts here, will play all around the pitch. We see the same thing for Argentina. Now Argentina, they look a bit like this sometimes. More of a 4-3-3 that they play, sometimes a 4-2-3-1. If it's 4-3-3, he'll usually be on the left. We'll put a striker in there. Lautaro can go in. There it goes. That's where he'll play. But if it's a 4-2-3-1, just for the sake of argument, we'll put DePaul there and Messi here. That's what it looks like with Messi over here. But actually, for both teams, Messi plays every single attacking position on the pitch. He creates from this position here, he creates from here, creates from here, everywhere. He is everywhere all the time. He's always where other people are not. So he receives the ball here and turns this into a goal. He starts from here to this into a goal, or he moves to facilitate others getting things happening. He's amazing. I'm going to show you what I mean by this with data to show you how good he actually has been this season. Now, we know he wasn't great last season at PSG, but there are many reasons for it. He moved from Barcelona, didn't really expect that. No one saw that coming. Also, he was injured an awful lot, couldn't really get into a rhythm with a new coach, new teammates, everything like that. Also, he had COVID and it really affected him during the last season. So that's all the excuses out the way and they're valid. But here we go. He has scored so many goals, it's ridiculous. This is his goals scored per 90 across his whole career. That's too high. This is sort of normal-ish for a human. Up here, he's collected all the emeralds here. You see, this is the last, all the Chaos Emeralds are now his. He scored that many. Crazily good. This is just, it's why he's so much fun to watch over his whole career, right? And why he's always nominated for the Ballon d'Or. And then you come down here, PSG, the first season. That's not good for Messi. He scored 6 goals. His XG, I think, in the league was 11.3. I think I'm about right. So he's just not converting chances. He was hitting the post a lot. That's another reason for slightly skewed numbers. Also, at PSG, he scored 0.6 goals per 90 this season, so he's on the up. He's scoring more goals along with his teammates. But in the year that he wasn't that good, he provided 14 assists, which I think was the second highest in the entire league. So he's doing something right. And then you also have the whole fact that he is basically someone who creates now. He is a creator, always has been, but he's also finishing his chances this season. So here we go. This is how many chances he creates for others, how many assists he's got per 90 across his whole career. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots, as you can see, and that is a career high. He's currently the most creative he's ever been at assisting his teammates, Kylian Mbappe and Neymar especially. Together, the three of them might be one of the best attacking units you've ever seen in Liga. So let's see how it works in Champions League. But we see how his role has changed thanks to John Muller of The Athletic, who has made this thing called player roles. That's what he's done. Go to The Athletic to find out more about what those are. But we can see Messi is an unlocker at Barcelona. He unlocks things. He fires passes through the lines to create chances for others. He does things, he brings players out of position, he dribbles past them, he unlocks it from a wide forward position. So this is specific to a wide forward. Now, we come all the way from Barcelona, where very much this is clear what he does, to being at PSG, where he is now a creator. That's what he was last season under Mauricio Pochettino when he was there. You see, a creator and a box crasher, slightly deeper, arriving in the box from late, because even though he was a right winger, he was dropping deep into midfield and then arriving late into the box to finish chances or hit the post, as it seemed to be last season. And more of a creator, creating chances for others, specifically Mbappe really, and Neymar. This season, he's now far more of a level player. He's 3 different players in one. He's a creator, a box crasher, and an unlocker. So he's back to being what he does best most of the time, but also doing other things too, which makes him better. But one of the best things about him and why he's so creative is that his chances come from just the most lucrative areas of the entire pitch. So you want to create chances from this bit here. This zone is where you want to create chances. That's where he does it. Look at that, 38%. If I don't have anyone else to compare to for context, that's extremely high. Also, these two areas here, 10% either side. As I say, he's in all the different positions across the pitch. Look where he's creating from. This is where he creates from, here. That's a really good thing to do. And then we see it from his progressive passes as well. When he drops deep, he takes the team forward. He might pick up the ball in the center circle. Within seconds, they'll be in the box. His progressive passes put him top of any player in the top 5 leagues since 21-22. Now let's look at what Messi's doing and how he's facilitating all these sorts of things. So what makes him so good? We know he's amazing at dribbling, his first touch is incredible, great technique, everything's perfect, but his movement and positioning are, again, next level. So obviously opposition teams and players know that Lionel Messi, they've heard of him, he's meant to be quite good. So they often surround him. He will find ways, if he's standing up front as part of this two-man striker position, he'll just drop, he'll walk slowly as though he doesn't care, and all of a sudden he'll receive the ball and then comes to action. Messi operates in moments, so he's not always in the game. He's not like, I know, someone like Kevin De Bruyne or Luis Suarez or I know Erling Haaland, someone that you think of as when you get the ball, they're like rah, going at you constantly. Messi just flicks in and out of the game as though when he doesn't have the ball, he's not even there. You don't even know he's there, he's like a ghost. Then he appears and suddenly you're in trouble and everyone panics because everyone's scared of ghosts, so they come round to try and stop the spooky ghost, but he's able to turn that into a chance. And specifically when you have these three up front, although it looks like Neymar's in a 10 and he's a 9 and he's a 9, it's not really like that. They constantly rotate. So what you have is, say Messi will be here with this back line, he will drop into these sort of positions into the middle of the pitch here. He won't do it quickly, he'll do it slowly, and then suddenly they'll turn around and realize that he's done that. And then that means that maybe Mbappe starts here, but he might move over to this position here, so I'll give him a line so you can track what's happening. Neymar might then be able to go over to this position here, to the middle like this, and this is going to drag defenders out of the way because they're scared of what's going on here. Maybe this guy's trying to get in, and that leaves room for someone like Verratti or whoever's playing in this left space here, I don't know, Vitinha, whoever, can get in behind for a chip over the top. That's one way he might do it. Another way he might create chances from these sorts of positions. Messi will start up here, he'll drop deep into these sorts of positions. Then you might have, I don't know, Mbappe making the same run over here. Neymar might come over here, and then Messi will start to play his little 1-2s that he likes doing. So Messi's 1-2s is one of the things he's seen throughout his career, where he picks up the ball deep, looks up, carries it a little bit, fires it in, and instantly moves to either receive a ball here, which is the obvious 1-2, other side of a player. So this is the kind of obvious 1-2. What Messi tends to do actually is receive the ball even deeper. He'll fire the ball into Mbappe, and then he'll go on a run around the outside of him like this. Mbappe comes over to join in. This defense is in a bit of a problem, and he'll start doing this thing where he disguises it to shoot, plays another little reverse 1-2, gets in behind, and then he comes out to try and stop Messi, gets in behind, finishes here. Or he'll receive it on the return from Mbappe or whoever's there and bury it in the back corner. This is what Messi does. He stands still, he walks, he doesn't do much. You ever seen him in real life in the stadium? You'll notice how it seems to be that he looks almost lazy. He just stands. At Barcelona, just on the right wing, hugging the touchline, standing still. No danger whatsoever. Then all of a sudden, bang, comes to life. Here he is, after, I think this is Troyes, I can't remember how to pronounce this, probably Troyes, but there we go. They're pushing out, the ball's over on the right-hand side. Messi's here, he's not going to header that, he's not going to score. Safe. He's walking. He's walking. No one's tracking him because he's walking back. They think he's going to go into this big bit here. Keeps walking, looks over his shoulder, no one's following him, don't know why is no one following him. This seems to happen all the time. Even though you know he's there, it's like he's invisible, like he's a ghost, he just keeps disappearing from plain sight. Walks into space, again, looks over his right shoulder, now he knows that again he's in space, he can see it. And as soon as this ball comes into him, he's alive. Turns around and look at that space, it means he can take a shot from here, and this is where he becomes the best player in the world because he buries that. That ball is still traveling when it hits the back of the net. It's an incredible hit. I don't know how to hit a ball like that. There we go, in the goal. That's Messi, 1. So here he is again, right? This is Messi standing still, letting people play around him, and everything he does. He stands still while chaos goes on around him. He should be playing in this right space here. So we've seen them, that one of the 3 forwards, they'll be side by side over here. Now, this is Neymar, who's swapped with Mbappe into this position here. Messi drops in, drags this defender out the way. So that's created space in the back line for Messi to be here, and he's going to stand and play a wall pass with Mbappe. Here it goes, round the corner, and then they're away. So Mbappe gets around, passes it back to Messi, he's in here. Look at the space that's created, big hole here. They're trying to they're just really panicking, trying to deal with this. And in the confusion, he runs towards the defender. He could go either way. They're not sure who's there because they're missing a player. Messi could do anything. What's he going to do? He comes in here, and then the defender comes across to tackle him. And most players in the world would get beaten here. But another thing he does is he goes against the flow of defenders. So it's not just that he's going against the time of everyone else. He's also going against the way they're running. So if you're running one direction, obviously you have to slow down and, to be able to turn the other way. You can't just do that. but Messi sort of does. He just waits, he reads what the movement's going to be, puts it to the other side of them, creates a space, and then buries that in the corner. And the other interesting thing about this finish is it's the same side of the goal the keeper's standing in. So even though he's there defending it, he still manages to bury it past him. Again, incredible technique. Name another player in the world that can do that every single time. Here he is standing still, completely still with the back line, just waiting for them to come to him. He plays in his own time. This is PSG building, he's standing here on his own, and then he drops in between the lines. So when I say between the lines, what that means is, say he's playing against a team playing in a 4-4-2 block, and he's one of two strikers with Mbappe. Now the two lines, that's one line. So here's the second line defenders. So normally strikers will play off the shoulder. Mbappe wants to try and push these teams back, because the closer to goal you are, that you can score. That's very good. But very clever players will go between this. This is where he goes. So even though he looks like he's surrounded, like he's got 4 players around him, in theory, this guy is surrounded, but he's not, because he's always got the angle, he always sees the angle, and his first movement is always to play it back into space, so then he can move into space and they create goals that way. So that's kind of what between the lines is what Messi does. You'll see him do it constantly when you look for it. Here's him doing it exactly here. Here's 2 lines of 4. Messi's just dropped from the striker position into here. It drags the defender slightly out of position. That encourages Mbappe to run into the space. He's created a chance for someone else. But here we go, he turns, surrounded instantly, is good enough at dribbling to take it away, and then he plays one of these 1-2s that we're talking about when he starts to fire and come into his own. So he drags with it, plays off with Mbappe. Here he tucks a pass into Mbappe, who then plays a lovely little back heel thing back into him. He then gets through on goal, rounds the keeper and scores. Because the thing that Messi does is he starts moves and finishes them himself. Pep Guardiola talked about how Erling Haaland's incredible, he scores all these goals that he uses his friends around him, I think he says. He uses friends around him to be able to score, whereas Messi could do it on his own. You can see it. This is how moves start. This is how it starts. This is how it ends. So a move that starts in the center circle, about, how many seconds is that? 8 seconds later is Messi finishing it, having started the move, dictating the whole thing, getting people all around him. And you have that movement, that positioning, that just sense of timing and whatever it is he's got. I don't know what frequency he's tuned to. You also add in things like the technique of that shot that hit the net, still traveling, or him lobbing the keeper from here first time. He just comes onto this, spots him, lobs that Honduran keeper from there. Or you've got this, an example of kind of all of it together. Here's Messi, the back line here, he's dropped into space. He knows there's space between these defenders here. No one's really worrying about him. Maybe they're too scared of dealing with him because they don't know what to do. Also, this is a weird position to stand in. If you're man marking him, you're going to lose his position here. So if you could drop this guy here to man mark, all of a sudden it means that he can push up or he can come into this space. It just changes things. So you hold your shape, Messi drops between your shape, whether you like it or not. And here you go. Player on the ball here knows that's there. He's going to make the run, which he does. All of a sudden, he's standing still, goes all of a sudden, ball comes into him, he controls it on the chest, bicycle kick, goal. So there you have it. Messi's, he's amazing. He's scoring, he scored 12 goals this season, maybe more after I've recorded this video by the time it comes out. He's got 13 assists, same sort of thing. He's been nominated for the Ballon d'Or every year since this year, since 2006. He's won it 7 times. He's been finished second, I think it's 5 times. I think he might be up there with the best he's ever played. And with the World Cup coming just up, oh baby, maybe this is the year. He's got a good team around him as well at Argentina. So, in short, I love Lionel Messi. And if you like him too, then you should subscribe to Tifo IRL and watch every last game you possibly can of this guy. He is the best thing ever. There you go, that's it. Subscribe now, like, if you like the video, that you might have already gone on by now, just hit like. It's good, that makes YouTube like it. Bye.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic brings you the best sports journalism in the world in a personalised experience, connecting you with the stories and teams that you care about the most. There's coverage of 13 sports, plus direct access to world-class journalists through live Q&As, discussions and podcasts. And you can try it now for free for 30 days by clicking the link in the description.